Right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's another week, another episode of Drag Race Down Under, and we are getting very close to the finale. We've only got two episodes left to go, which means sadly all of the fabulous queens are dropping like flies. And as we said, every single one of the season has been absolutely fabulous, including the gorgeous Max drag queen. Hello, darling.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I am wonderful. It's lovely to see you again. Obviously, it sucks in such circumstances. But what a run. What a run. How did you feel about your time on the show?
Look, I can't be anything but proud of the work that I put forward. So yeah, just feeling a sense of pride in everything that was shown, especially the emotions and the vulnerability that I think that I was able to showcase.
Absolutely. I mean, that must have been a really fucking big decision. Did you have a point where you went, maybe I should not go? Like life's tough at the moment.
Yes. Even to this day, I still wonder if it's something that I should have done or should not have done. There will never be the right answer for something like this. I just kind of have to find peace with the decisions I have made. And ultimately, like I have to know at the end of the day that my mum, she would have wanted me to do it. So I'm just glad that she has been honored in some capacity, kind of immortalized on with this show.
Absolutely. And something you get to look back on and get to see the fantastic fucking work that you did. Like you've obviously struggled with what you were going through, but you still fucking performed. I mean, you were the lip sync assassin of the season.
Thank you. I feel like Lucina was, and then now I guess it's me.
Yeah. But you still got to show off those talents, and we got to see what you were capable of. On a much more positive note, every single fucking time I've spoken to a queen and said, "Who did you see when you went into the show?" and you kind of shat your pants, everyone was like, "Max, Max," terrified of going up against Max.
Oh, that's very sweet. They're very correct for saying it, but it's very sweet.
Why did you think they were so correct? Is it just your lip syncing abilities, or is it just do you have that much of a reputation that you're just that shit hot?
I I think that like I don't know, I think doing this experience and kind of having the year that I've had, I'm able to confidently and not with arrogance. I think I'm confidently able to recognize that I do have a like a star power and a star quality within myself, especially when I like go and do uh well drag when I go and step onto a stage. Um and I think that that transcends beyond just a performance or the 3 minutes of time that I get on stage to like be doing my work. I think that like fundamentally at my core, I've worked really hard to be like, a good person. So I think when they walked in, they were like, cool, well, this is someone that isn't going to be here to fuck around.
Yeah, absolutely. You weren't just a baby queen in dress up. Like clearly, as I said, I think we were talking to Brenda last week about looking at the different styles of drag, and there were so many there. You really represent a Ru girl, somebody who has seen Drag Race. You're a Drag Race drag queen who knows all of the things. And were you one of those people who just studied that show and studied all those different styles of drag to be able to bring that power into the show?
Um, Not to speak ill of the show, but like obviously I watch it and I still watch it now. And I kind of just have to watch it with like a grain of salt. Because drag race is not for me and ultimately is not the be all end all of drag. I think some of the best entertainers that we have in our country and the world have yet to be on TV. And yeah, I don't think that I don't know. I feel inspired by the people that I work with. I feel inspired by the drag queens around me. So this felt more like a community showcase of what like my community can do, really.
Absolutely. There is such a big community vibe to that whole team. All of you, I loved, like, I got to meet you all at the launch and got to see that family that you had there. And that really translated onto the show. How have you found working with everyone? Is it really as much of a happy clappy family as we see?
I'm sad to report that it is a happy family. We do love each other very, very, very much. Sometimes I think if I hadn't been as highly emotional as I had been, and going through what I had been going through, if we would all be as tight knit as we were, I feel like my experiences of what I was going through prior to Drag Race and then what I inevitably kind of brought to the show, in terms of my outside life, gave kind of no room for us to like actually be mean or hate each other. I think that I genuinely carried in with me this like wave of like, we're going to be nice to each other because we don't know what's happening in our like personal lives, you know. I understand that this is a competition. I understand this is a reality TV show. But trust and believe if you want to say something, like there was just no room for it. There was no room for it. I mean, we were like shady and catty with each other. But that was instantly from a place of love and understanding. And yeah, I do love them. They're all talented and I hate it.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think that perspective changes everything for everyone, and it was definitely that really beautiful energy there. Um, it was an interesting season as well, and from beautiful energy, we had a very different change this year. No RuPaul, instead we had Michelle, who everybody has said was a beautiful mothering figure. Is that your experiences that you found with her?
Yeah, I think the on-camera and off-camera Michelle were a little like different. And I feel like, you know, people are there to do a job and they're there to judge and um keep the show going, essentially. But the most I felt of a mothering figure from her was when the cameras weren't rolling. She was very, very kind to me, and very, very sweet. And some of the things she said, I'm really like, I'm sad that they didn't make it to camera, but I will like kind of forever cherish some of the things that she said to me. She said that one of the things that she said was that in all of the franchises that she's been a part of and been able to watch, that I was one of the best lip sync, like I was one of the best performers she'd ever seen. And that was something that I was like, she's seen a lot of fucking drag. So to like have her like say that and so genuinely and not for camera or not performatively, it just felt like that was my win. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's so lovely to hear. You know, it's like you hear about some people off camera, they're just shut off, but to hear that she actually developed and grew more and kind of was really nice to hear. And everybody's just said how lovely she was.
She was.
Now, speaking of mother figures as well, somebody we just kept seeing over and over and over again this season, Miss Isis Avis Loren. Was that tricky having her be there judging you and be like, oh,
I think that um everyone might have thought that ISIS being there was going to mean that I had like a clean sweep or like an easier run, or that the nepotism of it all kind of came into play. If anything, I do feel like I was being judged a lot harsher than the other contestants because ISIS was there. Um, so if I ever happen to do this show again in any capacity, it'd be interesting to see that would look like without ISIS. Unless they did like an All Stars one sort of thing and we did teams, that'd be funny.
going there with her? That'd be cool.
Yeah, imagine Isis and I. But then again, Isis and I could just do like the Amazing Race or something.
Hey, we haven't had Drag Queen on there yet, so you never
Right.
know. Um, Now with the challenges, that was a really interesting, a difficult way challenge this week. I don't think we've ever seen many, if any, of the challenges where you are all essentially isolated from each other. You have no idea what anybody else was doing. You had no gauging for understanding of whether you had done well or failed in comparison to anybody else. Was that a big struggle there?
No, the walls are very thin at Drag Race. So all of us knew Nikita was going to be in the bottom that week. We knew that Vibe was not feeling very good about her performance. Mandy's was a big swing of a choice. Um, all the girls, all the way through to Untucked, um, were convinced. They were convinced I was in the top this week. So the I was not, just by the way. I was very aware that I was being sent home. But because three lip syncs and blah blah blah. But yeah, it was a very interesting challenge. It's definitely a word I would use. Definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of dynamics at play there. I mean, it was good to see it changed up a little bit. I do get a little over some of the acting challenges sometimes. um,
I just wish that we changed it up in a way that was kind of like good.
fair,
It
fair.
wasn't a great challenge. Like ultimately it was a weird one. It was very, very weird.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, swing and a miss. We've done something different. Unfortunately, at your expense on that one. We
Well,
also changed. Oh, sorry.
no, just well, yeah.
Yeah. We also changed up Snatch Game this year. What did you think about the change in format, splitting you in half? Do you think that was a better move? Did that work in your favor, or do you think that made it more difficult?
Um, I again appreciate the swing to want to change up such a staple sort of challenge, but do I think this was necessary? No. Do I think that there was much reference to the fact that we were like in the outback? No. Like it was kind of just the set change. Like there was nothing actually different about it. Again, I think this was another really interesting challenge. It's crazy how all the interesting challenges I seem to be lip syncing on, but that's okay. That's okay.
Look, your reputation just preceded you, and the producers just really wanted to see you fucking lip sync, obviously.
Yeah, well, lo and behold, every time that a guest judge was there, that the lip sync song was theirs, I happened to be in the bottom. Would you believe?
Well, you got to show off your talents to the creators of the songs. That's another benefit, at least.
True. I've had Lady Hawk and Peach PRC both message me and follow me and just say nothing but really, really kind things. So I am counting my wins there.
Thank you very much for joining me, Max. Drag Queen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you and seeing you on the show where you really, truly got to shine and make a very big difference. So thank you very much. And we hope to see much more of you in the future.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Have a great one, darling.